You guys, it's Mary.
And Alma.
Be much as a like,
Subscribe,
share,
and comment.
down below. Today we are going to be reviewing some local news. Well, news that happened in England,
news,
world news.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth has died.
Yes,
now
Queen
I do
Elizabeth
not.
II has passed away.
Yes, I don't keep up with the royal family,
Yes.
but she is from Sierra Leone. Her mom also kind of followed the family, so she has also been following the family for a while.
And that's really how I actually got introduced to weddings.
Yeah.
I think the first wedding that I saw was Princess Diana's wedding ever in my lifetime.
Oh wow.
That was like in the 1980s. I can't remember 1980 when, but I know it was in the 1980s. And that her, beautiful puffy dress and all that was quite beautiful. Actually, those puffy sleeves reminded me of some of the doquette and lapa we used to wear in Sierra Leone. Like we'll have these puffy sleeves, and then it cinches at the waist. Then there's a little flare out. So the style, kind of without the train, of course, reminded me of our styles that we had in Sierra Leone for the tops. But anywho, and of course, seeing that and whatever, we watched it. She brought the videotape home, and we watched it, and it was just beautiful. And since then, I have actually, followed them. Followed the family, William being born, and all this stuff. And of course, they got divorced, and that was, awful and all that stuff. But anyway, for me, even though I really love Princess Diana, and of course when she, I don't know her to like love her like that, but I really just like the fact that she was doing all of these different things for charity. And I remember at the time when AIDS was here, and a lot of people, there was a huge stereotype against people with HIV at that time, and she will go to their beds and actually hold their hand. I think she was one of the first people to do that, because I remember even in the NBA when Magic Johnson said that he had HIV, and I remember, even in those days, there were players who worried that just him sweating and putting sweat on them, they'll get it, or if he hurts himself and blood gets on them, they felt like they will get it. So there was a lot of stigma to people who have HIV. And she was one of the, I will say, I really didn't see anyone, and look, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm 51 years old, so those who are in their 50s who remember this story, but I really feel like she was the only celebrity or famous person that I remember who at that time, when there was a huge stigma against people with HIV and AIDS, she was the only celebrity I remember going at that time, I'm not saying later on, but at that time, going and sitting on the bedside and holding someone who had full-blown AIDS hands, and not wearing gloves and being unafraid. So because of that, that's what I loved about her selflessness, and so because of her, I followed her children, through the years and stuff like that. And of course, we're excited when Harry married Meghan. I saw that wedding. I saw the one for Prince William and Kate. Yeah. Anyway, and then of course she died, and and even when she left Charles, there was a huge rift.
Oh, so she divorced him.
Yes, she asked for a divorce, and there was, at first, I think the Queen did not give them that opportunity, because I guess they were not supposed to divorce. But later on, they were able to divorce. I don't know the ins and outs. I wasn't like following them like that.
Yeah.
And then I was young too, so I wasn't like all in the business of what was going on there. I think I was even in college at the time I was recently married. Anywho, I know when she passed away, it was like the world stopped. And so many people kept
the way she died was very tragic.
Yeah, someone kept on putting flowers on there in Buckingham Palace, and then the Queen came out. And I remember the Queen coming out, because I remember that time, like, a lot of people were angry with Queen Elizabeth II because they just felt like, like how dare you? Because of you, this woman, like, she suffered under you guys and all this stuff. And, the Queen came out and looked at the cards. Everybody knew she didn't really like Princess Diana that much. In fact, there was the rumor that it was really the husband who chose Princess Diana for Charles. But that, and of course, everyone knew that he liked Camilla. He loved Camilla, but Camilla was she divorced?
I think she was divorced.
Married.
Did she have kids?
No, I think she was married at the time. I don't know. I wasn't following like that, y'all. So I don't want to be up in these streets lying. But anyway, there was this, whatever, and Diana said she felt like though there were 3 people in the wedding and the marriage or whatever, because he never gave up Camilla, and that's who he's married to now. Now, I have always respected Queen Elizabeth. I just do. And the thing that I respect about her is that she has been there for 70 years, right?
Yeah.
And she has given her whole life. In her speech, she said, I vow that she will give her whole life in service to, her people and stuff like that. And I feel like through the years, she has just been steady. She has been steady, and I admire people. I really do. I know in this day and age, nobody stays in any company for long, and nobody has loyalty. But I don't blame the people who don't have loyalty in this day and age because of the fact that even the companies don't have loyalty to the people anymore. They're trying to get rid of them if they know that they're about to retire, they're going to get a pension or whatever.
Yeah.
They try to get rid of them. So, but I just admire a woman who. She got this post in her 20s. First of all, her brother was she was never supposed to even ever become queen because she was not the daughter of the eldest son. The eldest son was her uncle, but the uncle abdicated the throne. The uncle who was king abdicated that throne because he was in love with this girl, with this woman. I think her name was called Wally Simpson. I think that was her name.
Okay.
You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't do any research of this. I'm just going by memory. Okay. He was in love with this woman, but this woman was a divorcee.
Okay.
And their laws do not allow the king to marry a divorcee. So if you're going to marry her, you got to give up the throne. And he did that for love.
Who did?
Her uncle.
Oh, okay.
Because the way the royal family works is the eldest son that becomes king.
Yeah.
The eldest son.
Okay.
And if you don't have, and at that time, if you don't have an eldest son, it will not go to the daughter. I don't think it will go to the daughter. I think I don't know. Yeah, I think it will go to the daughter. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I don't know. Because when Elizabeth became queen, so it could go to the daughter. So anyhow, he abdicated the throne. So his brother, who is Queen Elizabeth's father,
right,
and he was already sickly. He was always coughing, always had some kind of sickness.
Yeah.
He became king instead.
Oh.
It's kind of like you have Prince William and Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Right? Say William abdicates the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Now Harry, who was never supposed to be king, really, because if that guy had gotten married and had children, he would have got in line of the children. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the man had no children when he abdicated the throne. So now they fell to this brother, who they were not expecting to become king. He became king unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And then he died when he was young. He died, he wasn't that old when he died.
Yeah.
And so she was only 26, and she had recently married, and now all of a sudden she got to be queen. And in fact, she was in one of these African countries when her father passed away. So she came to the African country as a princess. She left the African country as a queen.
Wow.
Yeah. And so at such a young age, in her 20s, you can imagine with you, 26, now you're 24. But imagine you're 26 and now you're queen. and you're in charge of this whole thing. It's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
But she gave her whole life to this. And it's not an easy thing. I mean, when we listen to Diana doing her tapes of what it was to live in that place, they say the place is cold all the time, because they got to keep everything to a certain setting. You have to meet all these different dignitaries, make small talk. Sometimes you're just not in the mood,
Yeah.
But she never got an opportunity to say, I'm not in the mood today to meet whoever. She couldn't say that.
Yeah.
And then of course they had countries under them who were colonized before, and a lot of African countries were under them too, and some other countries from the different islands and stuff. India, those different countries, all came under the Commonwealth. I don't know all the history, but I do admire someone who has been able to stay in a position for that long a time and maintain it. To me, that's admirable. That's where I come from with the whole Queen Elizabeth.
And now, what do you think about all the chatter that's been going on?
I really have not listened too deeply, because I know that there are quite a bit of people who don't like the royal family. They hate them and all this stuff. I try my best not to give too much energy to something like hate for anybody or anything, because it's just too much energy. That's how I feel. It's just too much energy to give to something like that. And if you hate someone, don't give them your energy of hatred. That's a powerful emotion that you feel throughout your system. You know? If you hate someone, why would you give them that much power for you to even be having this emotion of hate? Anyway, but yeah, I have seen some, like, I did see a heading that talked about there was a diamond that the Queen has that India wants to be returned. There are some other countries that want her to return. She has these crowns with all these emeralds and stuff. And I have wondered too, when she was alive, I have wondered too and thought to myself, because actually I saw a story, and I can't remember what, I don't know, it was Papua Guinea. It was one of these countries that the head of state gave her some very expensive stones,
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was emerald or something very rare. And I remember seeing that, and I just thought to myself, why didn't you sell it to her so that you can help your people? But you have these heads of state. They get the crumbs from the Western leaders, which is really crumbs.
Yeah.
They give their precious raw material to them. So for me, look at your government. That's how I feel. Instead of asking the royal family now to go and give you whatever and this and that, which I doubt if they'll ever do. They might, but I doubt it. You gotta talk to the government.
Yeah.
And look at them. How did they get it? Was it by sheer brute force? I think about those kinds of things, and I just feel like it's a little disingenuous. And the reason why I say that is I didn't hear this when she was alive, and I might be wrong because, I don't watch the news that much. But it's like the same thing, when Kobe passed away, right? People started to try to say bad mouth him. Oh, what do you think about this time when he had this trouble?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you ask him that when he was alive and well?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about this. India, where were you? The many times she came to visit you, or the royal family came to visit you, why didn't you say, hey, woman, we need our diamond now? Why didn't the president, look, we have been missing this diamond. It's in your possession, and I need you to bring it here.
Yeah.
She was alive at that time. I just think it's a punk move. That's what I feel.
Well, what do you feel?
That's just how I feel.
Well, not only that, but also a lot of people have been saying online. There's a specific YouTuber sometimes you watch or whatever. He said that the Queen has died.
Yeah.
We have now been freed from her shackles or some stuff like that.
I don't know how you can be in her shackles. Like, at the end of the day, you got to look at your own people. This is how I feel, honestly. You got to look at your own people. You know, I always wonder to myself, you know, and you know, you don't want to talk badly about people, you know, but I always feel like where are the men on this?
Yeah.
Like, where are the men? This is a woman. She's there for 70 years. You know, where are the men? Where are the men on this? And you know, even here in Africa, you know, of course I was so proud when I heard that the president of Ghana was there saying to Switzerland, hey, we're not going to give you the raw material for the cocoa, for the chocolate that you use. You know, we will make the chocolate, and then you can buy it from us. That was awesome, because you have so many times the West comes and they get our raw material, and then they go and make something out of it. Like here we're in Tanzania. I didn't even know that there's a very rare precious stone called Tanzanite.
And it's the second most expensive diamond or jewel or stone in the world.
Yeah. You know, they have it right here. You know what I'm saying?
They're saying the Indians are the ones who are really claiming it now. Because
but they're trying to.
Yeah.
But what happened was when Magufuli was here, he actually someone was there, one of our people here who is Tanzania was telling us that he kind of you know, dealt with that. So he said, because people were just coming and just digging up places and just claiming, oh, this is my space here, this is my land here, where the Tanzanite was, you know. So I'm happy Magufuli did that, and I am sure the President Hassan is continuing that. President Hassan, hi, we're here. We would love to meet with you. We're going to be sending a letter because it's very important. We want to talk to you about something. But if you're watching this, or one of your people,
hi,
and thank you. I mean, we're loving Tanzania and the work you're continuing of our wonderful brother Magufuli.
Yes,
really, that's really why I wanted to come to Tanzania 2 years ago, because of him, actually, and the kind of strong African leader that he was. You know, but yeah, going back to Queen Elizabeth, that's how I feel. She was here, she was alive and well. I did not see you people talking about it, and I damn sure don't want to hear you talk about it. It's about her when she dead and gone, and how she owe you money. It is like I pass away and everybody now comes and starts harassing you for the money that I owe them. I'm not here. She probably don't even know that what money I owed.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. And at the end of the day, I feel like we got to look at our government. How in the world did they get those stones and this and that?
Well, they said there was also a diamond that she stole here from Africa.
This is a woman. She came to Africa and went and took the diamond and grabbed it and took it back to Britain.
I don't know.
Where's the security? Nobody checked her in the airport before she left. You know, I just, you know, I mean, listen, I'm not political. I try my best not to get into things like that. I really don't, and I'm sure this whole thing, you know, I'm sure people are going to come for me. And I understand it, too.
You didn't say anything bad.
But that's just how I feel. And I just feel as though let us really try to focus our energy that in this day and age, as we try to leave a serious legacy for our children, our descendants, let us work on that never happening in our lifetime, where someone from the West can come in and steal our most rare of stones. Right here in Tanzania, there's Tanzanite. Right here.
Yeah.
Let our descendants 100 years from now, not talking about Prince Charles has died down, oh, we need to go get our Tanzanite. Especially when right now Tanzanite is there. I don't want to hear it, oh. Will I be alive? No, I will be alive when he dies, inshallah.
But
You know,
yeah.
but I don't want to hear that. So let us do what we must now so that we don't have to, our children's children don't have to be talking about some raw material, some rarest of gems that was taken from us by the West. Yeah, because I will tell you guys something. There are even right now as we speak, there are some Africans. I'm telling you. Let me just say this. I'm not calling any names, but there are even some Africans in this day of 2022 who are parting their lips to say, if we can just be colonized again by Britain or that devilish France, if we can be colonized again, things will be better in Africa. Yeah, they open their mouth and they say such an atrocity. Yes, they'll say it.
it's not all Africans. There's a select few.
No. I mean, but there are those who are saying that, and yeah, some of them are older, right? Because
Yeah.
the elder, whatever. But there are actually some younger ones who are even younger than me saying that.
Wow.
Because the work that you're doing, being here now, they find that it's too hard. They don't realize that any government worth their salt, you got to do the work. The work has to be done in order for you to get what you want to get. But they don't want to do the work. But nothing is free. If you let the enemy come in from the back door, come into your place of residence, and even when the person comes, maybe when they came, they were not coming to be an enemy, but they come and look how your area is not secure. So that greed now comes up, that devilishment comes up, and they start taking what is not theirs to take.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel. The queen is dead. I admire her for putting 70 years I really don't know all the things that she did. All I know is she maintained a position for 70 years.
Yeah.
That's all I know. And when I think about it, if I'm queen and having to talk to different people, my time is not my own. I don't think her time is really her own. Everything is scheduled. And you have to live like that for 70 years.
Yeah.
From the time she wakes up, there's a servant who has come. Look, we even right now we have someone, a dada, right? But let me tell you something. Even sometimes, the days that she doesn't work, I feel like, oh yes, like I have my space to myself. She never has that. There's always someone around. That would drive me crazy. I would have left that job. I'm like, I'm queen. Charles, where the hell Charles is at? You have to take this mantle. But she held that position 2 days prior. She had brought in the new prime minister,
Yeah.
and then 2 days later she was dead. I think it was 2 days later she was dead. So she did. She gave a vow, and she kept her vow. And what I would love to see is us as Africans, as black people. I would love to see us keep our vows to each other and follow through on it. When I came to this country, 1989 was the second time I got here. But 1989 was the time I came and I stayed for a long time. When I came, even when you look on television, they were making fun of the Chinese, Asian people. They were like mocking them on television.
Yeah.
Now you wouldn't even dare to do that.
No.
because
They, you know what
worked.
they did? They actually put a law here before they put a law against just about black people cannot be discriminated against. As soon as Joe Biden came in, he said he put in a law for the Pacific Islanders, which is for Asians and other descendants or whatever, and said that you cannot discriminate them. Mind you, they were only getting assaulted for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
But black people have been assaulted for years, and he did not even put in a law for that.
Oh.
But they put it for them. He put that. I think that was like the second or third thing he did after he decided to bomb a Muslim country.
Yeah. Well, Biden.
I don't know why y'all voted.
Well, the thing is with Biden.
I'm not going to get political.
Well, you had Trump and then you had Biden. So people say, okay, well, Biden's the lesser of the two.
Lesser evil. Yeah.
The only thing I can say is people have to go and look at the archives. Because Biden has been in the Senate for a long time. You got to go to the archives and watch all the things that he said for you to figure out on your own whether him being president serves you or not. I mean, but just
because he was the vice president to a biracial man doesn't mean that he's legit.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has to do their own homework.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But what I liked about the Asians, they worked, they toiled, to the point now that they're the ones handing out loans to the West.
Yeah.
They're the ones at the forefront.
The West are really in debt to them.
They toiled for 35 years. It's been, 35 years? So that's 30, because 22, I came in 1989, so that was 33 years. And so what I'm saying to those who are, and I'm not saying it's not legitimate to ask for whatever it is that you have to receive. I just don't like it. I don't like it because she was here. It seems cowardly to me.
Yeah.
She was here. When she was here,
no one said anything.
I wish I could hear the drumbeat of whatever you all were asking. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. Now that she gone, I can't. But 33 years, Asia is on top. Look at Rwanda. They had a genocide 20 years. And yes, when you go there, you feel this kind of, I have heard, we don't know, but we'll be going there soon. But when you go there, they say that you feel that some people still have not gotten over the genocide, right? And, but they're still working on it. But look at how far they have come. Just look at their infrastructure and the advances that they have made in the 20 years. So what I'm asking of us as black people specifically, blacks around the world, we need to be toiling wherever we see that we can, so that 30 years from now, Africa can be like how Asia was. And Africa can be on top. And a lot of wonderful things are happening on the continent. I mean, when you watch the YouTubers and stuff like that, you see where so many wonderful things are happening, So we want to get to a place where, look, we are making our crowns with our gems, We are helping our country with the raw materials that Allah has given us. And we are putting it to good use.
Yeah.
So that we're not falling into debt and borrowing paper money from the West. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'll say. So that
especially
our children,
when you guys have gold here.
I don't want my grandchildren or great grandchildren talking about something that they stole something from us in 2022. They stole that Tanzania. That will just drive me crazy. Because I will be like, I was here in 2022. How come they stole it? But now in 2050, 55, they're still wanting it because now Charles has died or Williams had died, and they want them to hand over their jewel. Let's make sure that never happens again.
Yeah.
Moving forward, that's what I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they decide that, hey, we're going to go send all these things back, they're stolen properties, then hey, alhamdulillah. If they don't, let us work and toil and ensure that 33 years from now, or 55, whatever, 2055 or whatever, no one is here talking about how, or 100 years from now, no one is saying how, oh my God, do you know in 2022 they stole this gem from Africa and they need to be giving it back to us. Let us have security around our things, what God has given to us. All the stuff that He has given to Africa is a gift. You go into any country, they have an abundance of things, gems, oils, like all kinds of wonderful, amazing things.
The land is so massive here.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, even on the highway, there's so much land.
There's so much land. I mean, Allah has given us so much. And then this is this is the largest continent, isn't it?
I mean, you can fit America and I think you said Europe
mm-hmm.
into Africa
and
China into Africa. But they make it look so small, the map on purpose.
Map. You know what I'm saying? So let us just keep on pushing and leave our legacy here. Do our part so that Africa gets to be on top. So that we're not asking people for this, that, and the other, something that was stolen. That would just be
everything
upsetting.
We need is already here in Africa. We don't really need anybody else to help us get to the top. You just have to look within.
When God gives you a gift and you give it away, just like how so many of these, governments and stuff like that, especially here in Africa in the past, have just given away for crumbs so much of our raw materials.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just giving that away for crumbs, really for crumbs. When God gives you a gift, do you give it away for crumbs? And do you want Him to give you another one?
It doesn't work like that.
Will He make you a stewardess of that what he gives you? If you willing to take care of what He has already given you, like we have to think about that on a spiritual level too. So that was about it.
Yes, y'all. But it's Mary
and Amma.
We invite you guys to like,
subscribe,
share,
and
comment down below.
What you think? What do you think about Queen Elizabeth and her legacy? And hey,
Africa leaving a legacy.
If you hate her, let us know what you hate about her.
Because I don't follow it, that's why I didn't say much. I don't really know her like that.
If you know more of the history of things, let us know. Because, I don't know a lot of the history. I don't really follow a lot of those things like that. And I try my best not to put energies into certain things that will just, I want to use my energy in a useful way. But anyway, let us know. I mean, good, bad, indifferent. Let us